Genira Design Studio.
What is up, y'all? It's your girl Lala, aka LaChelle, aka Chelle, aka Michelle, my belle. And y'all, your girl is fighting for her life. And by your girl, I mean me. And why am I fighting for my life? Because I am on my cycle. But y'all know I got my essentials on deck. So you see I got my heating pad on to help with the cramps and so on and so forth. If I got to get up in the middle of this story time to get some cookies, let me make it. Speaking of which, this is going to be a story time video. Y'all don't know if it's SLRL, a man or woman. This particular person today, I'm going to give the name Mark for Mark Buster. No, I'm just kidding. But I am going to give them the name Mark. Therefore, you will catch me using masculine pronouns. That doesn't necessarily mean the person is masculine. It just means that's what I'm using because I said Mark. So, Mark and I have history. Mark is one of those people where we've never done anything, we've never dated, but it's like if one sees the other with somebody, it's like, Like every time Mark sees somebody talking to me, Mark is going to go extra hard to be in my face. And every time I see somebody talking to Mark, I'm like, I guess if that's what you like. Y'all don't ask me why. Don't be like, why don't you talk to Mark? Don't ask, because I don't know. I honestly don't know. Mark is somebody that I like and I believe likes me, but I don't want to like him. And I don't think he wants to like me. Or maybe we both just healing so we don't trust anything. So that's why we like, I like you, but... Because I don't know. I feel like I got one more heartbreak in me left before I end up on Snap. So anyway, Mark and I kind of fell out a few weeks ago. Mark didn't fall out with me, but I fell out with Mark. I said something to Mark that triggered him, and he kind of went off on a tangent. Like I said to Mark, I said, you hurt my feelings. Now, I was about to have a genuine conversation with Mark about his inconsistent behavior in certain areas. Now, Mark is not my man and never been my man. So why I feel like he needs to be consistent in his behaviors, I don't know, guys. That's life. But I guess that's what they mean when they be like, that's my man, that's not my man, but really my man. Like I said, anytime Mark sees somebody in my face, Mark go hard being in my face. Like he want to block so bad. But before y'all ask, I know Mark's not in a relationship or anything like that. So it's not Mark wants you to be his side piece. It's not like that. In fact, Mark has been very forthcoming. There was a period where he was dating someone, and he made it very clear. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, I appreciate you just being honest with me. But Mark has been single for a while now, and he made sure to make sure that I knew that. But me and Mark fell out because I came to Mark and was like, you hurt my feelings. Like, my lip was poked out and everything, y'all. I was really trying to be cute. And Mark came out of a bag on me. Mark went into this long tangent. So that's how I know Mark's been hurt. Y'all, I've learned to listen more than I speak, and I'm getting better at reading people. Like, normally, I'm the friend that other friends bring the people they're dating to and be like, hey, how does he make you feel? Or how does she make you feel? Because I've been right. Anytime I said, oh, they seem decent, they be decent people. But they might be immature. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have negative intentions. They're just immature. And then there's some people I was like, I don't know how you feel about, don't bring that MF around me no more. Like, my spirit is cringing. Like, I physically feel my spirit, like, twisting and pulling away from this person. Don't bring them back through here. And I've been right every time. Every time I felt that way about somebody's significant other, they do them dirty. So I'm that friend. But when it comes to me, I can't do it because my judgment becomes polluted with my emotions. And somebody was talking about that. I think they were talking to like a psychic or something. Was like, well, if you're psychic, why can't you win the lottery? And the psychic simply said, my powers don't work for me. And that's how I feel when it comes to my intuition and my discernment. When it comes to reading other people, I don't know why it always glitches for me. I be spot on for everybody I love. And I don't even mean no hater stuff. I can say, hey, I feel this way. I'm not gonna lie, I have met people where I can't pinpoint what it is, but I know how I feel, and I've always been right. Because even the people might be like, oh, well, maybe, you just trying to protect me, and then the person will do them dirty. I'm talking about filthy. But just when it comes to me, I don't do it, right? But I'm getting better. So I'm learning that one of the ways to make sure that my intuition and discernment is as effective for me as it is for my loved ones is by trying to pay attention more and remove the emotion, because them rose-colored glasses will get you every time. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all, Mark is fine, okay? I have dreamt of Mark doing things to me multiple times. Sometimes multiple times a day. Mark is bad, honey. Okay, Mark is fine. Mark is not F-I-N-E fine. He's F-I-O-N-E fine. Okay? Mark is fine. He's not just physically fine. The way he carries himself is fine. But anyway. So, I said that to Mark because one thing I was like, I don't care how fine you are, how cool you are, baby, you're not finna play in my face. So, I was getting ready to address Mark about his behavior, but I'm learning the way Mark carries himself, he has a very dominant personality. So you can't just be like, hey, like if you do that, he's going to immediately get defensive and it's going to become a very confrontational type of situation. So you gotta get Mark with honey, right? You can have him eating out the palm of your hand with honey, which is a struggle for me because I don't play. But that's a part of tapping into your feminine energy, which is another conversation for another day. So, not just your feminine energy, your divine feminine energy, because there is a difference. So, I was like, I go with him with my lips poked out, because Mark, even though Mark is a thug, like he's not a thug like a street dude. He just, like I said, he got a dominant personality. Mark treats me like a princess when I want it. So, I went to Mark, pouting my lips, and was like, you hurting my feelings. Baby, Mark went off on me. He didn't like cuss me out or nothing, but Mark was like, when I come to a certain place, I can't be worried about other people's feelings or how I make them feel. Like, how I make somebody feel is on them, because when I'm doing this certain thing, this is for me, this is my self-care, so I can't be focused on nobody else. Now, y'all know I'm a brat inside, right? I'm a princess. So, in the beginning, I probably should have processed this as, okay, Mark is talking about his self-care. And I am kind of butting in saying, I need you to be concerned about me doing your self-care. But at the same time, Mark has to respect my boundaries. Because this location that Mark is saying he can't be focused on nobody else is the only place we see each other. You like, wait a minute, Chelle. I know. That's why I said it. It's weird. Me and Mark don't talk on the phone. Me and Mark don't hang out. We just be really in each other's face when we in the same location. Right? Again, Mark has been forthcoming with whether or not he's in a relationship the entire time, even in instances where I might have been like, and this or that, and he'd be like, yeah, it is what you thought, or he'd be like, no, it's not. Right? So I'm not going to take that from Mark. We're not going to do the, oh, you Mark side piece. No, Mark is a very selective person, and that's another reason that I'm attracted to him, because Mark know he fine, but Mark is not for everybody. Unlike a lot of people, because for some reason we seem to live in a society that is addicted to attention from any and everything and any and everyone. Mark ain't like that. Mark really do be chilling. That's probably why I like him so much. Except when it comes to me. Because, you know. So, I was like, so Mark is telling me, like, when I'm here, I got to focus on me. Because, you know, when I'm in this vicinity, I don't use other measures that other people use. This is my healing. This is how I heal. This is how I take care of myself. So I can't be worried about other people's feelings. Now keep in mind, y'all, I ain't done nothing to Mark. I ain't done nothing. And instead of me sitting back in my maturity and being like, okay, let him let it out. Again, hold on. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm finna let Mark run all over me. Mark could catch a fade too. I should have let him get it out and then politely be like, I don't know who hurt you, Mark, but it wasn't me. You know what I mean? So that's what I want y'all to see where my head at. It's not a, oh, he's cute, so he can say whatever he wants. I slap fire out Mark. But I have to learn to sometimes sit back, let people let it out, and then, you know, enforce my boundaries. Because it's about knowing when situations can become confrontational, it's basically choosing your battles, right? Me and Mark are not together. We have no relationship to salvage. So at the end of the day, I really could have just took what Mark said and walked out of his life. Period. Right? And I kind of did. So listen. So he's going off, y'all. I summed up what he said, but he's going off. He's going off so long. He's not screaming at me. He's not calling me out my name. It's nothing like that. But he is being aggressive. Mark is naturally aggressive, but I don't care. I'm in princess mode. Be delicate with me, ugly. So, so I think he's going off. He does not stop until somebody else who recognizes him walks up like, oh, what's up? And maybe they saw his face and was like, hold on, let me interrupt because something's going on. But the person walked up and was like, oh, hey, what's up? And went to shake Mark's hand. And I literally said it just like this, y'all. I didn't respond negatively. Like when Mark was talking, I didn't have any aggressive mannerisms as far as my body language. I wasn't physically saying anything. I was letting him get it out because I was like, I'm finna check him, which was not the right response. So I'm glad I made the decision I made. So when the person did that, I said, I'm gonna leave y'all to this. I gotta go, right? And I left. And Mark kind of looked like, oh, I didn't want you to leave though. I don't care, Stink. This person just thought you would get cussed out because I was about to lay into Mark. Listen, we all healing. So I leave and go do what I gotta do. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's time for me to go. Like I look at my watch like, oh, snap, it's time for me to go. And I'm like, oh, my phone. I either left it somewhere where somebody could snatch it because we're in a public place, or it's still over there with Mark. Guess where my phone was, y'all? I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to guess in the chat where my phone was. If you guessed still over there with Mark, you guessed right. So I go looking for my phone and I'm like, okay, I wonder if it's where I was sitting. And then I look over there, nope, it's by Mark. And I was like, did I leave my phone? Try and play it off. Because again, I'm not showing him, I didn't give him any type of response. Because another thing I've learned sometimes is when people are mad, they want you to get mad back. Excuse me, even if you didn't do anything, just in the moment, sometimes I don't know why people need that satisfaction. They need to, I guess it's like confirmation that they transferred that negative energy to you. I didn't give Mark any of that. Even when I said I'm gonna let y'all have this, I was very calm. I didn't have any aggression in my tone. My face was calm. Like I did that on purpose, y'all. I have my degree in public speaking. I know all about body language. I have my degree in teaching. I know all about how people can interpret you when you're delivering a message. So trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I leave this scene. Even if I feel negative inside, I ain't gonna look it. So I was like, oh, there's my phone. Just like that, y'all. Even though I'm ready to tee off on Mark. I was like, there's my phone. And Mark's like, oh, huh? I was like, nope, just looking for my phone. And I grabbed my phone and dipped out. I wanted to bust Mark in his forehead with the phone, but I would never let it show. So fast forward, I went home and was like, oh, so he gonna sit up here and talk about he can't be bothered with people while he doing that, when that's the only place we talk. So technically you saying you can't be bothered with me, but if you can't be bothered with me, baby, the last thing I'm gonna do is bother you. All right? I'm hyped. I'm mad at home. I'm mad. But I've learned you win more being strategic. And lashing out all the time is not strategic. It's really chess, not checkers with this emotional shit. So I'm at home turned up. My baby come out like, Mama, you all right? I'm like, I'm fine. Mark ain't gonna be though. And my baby's like, all right, I'm going back in my room. Love you, Mom. Which is something you shouldn't do. Don't bring that negative energy home. Either release it or don't bring it home. You know what I mean? Suck it up. So I see Mark for the next few weeks. Now, when me and Mark are in the same location, we tend to play eye tag, right? I pretend I don't see Mark looking at me, even though I can see him in my peripheral vision looking at me. And I pretend not to be looking at Mark, even though if he pays attention, he might look up and catch me glancing at him. But he might see me in his peripheral vision too. So, I don't know. We play that game. And I do it because I like to chase, and eventually Mark will mosey on over to me. If he takes too long, I might mosey on to him because, you know, I got to make Mark feel chased too. Y'all probably like, but you are ridiculous. So, I see Mark over the next few weeks, and I'm making sure Mark feels invisible to me. I know it's not the right thing to do, but whatever. So I'm walking past Mark like I don't even see him. Because at a minimum, me and Mark speak to each other, even if it's a what's up nod. So I'm not giving him, I'm mad. But I'm not doing it like I'm not being petty, like letting doors shut in his face or nothing like that. But he feel it. Trust me, he do. And so, because I'm mad. He hurt my feelings for real. Like, I was coming to you playful. I wanted to have a real discussion with you, but initially I was playful. You came out of a bag on me. I didn't hurt you. I'm not finna pay for it. So, about 2 or 3 weeks pass, and I'm passing Mark on the sidewalk. And Mark goes, "How you doing, man?" Again. So, I didn't tell y'all this. So, me and Mark have a very playful type of energetic exchange. I'll say that because I don't really want to put a label on it right now. We have a very playful, energetic exchange. So, like, me and Mark talk to each other. We really do. So, like, I might see Mark sitting down. I'm like, "Wow, you must be well rested because I ain't seen you do a thing today." Like, this how me and Mark talk to each other. And Mark talked to me like that. Make no mistake about it. But he was like, "Hey, how you doing, man?" And he was probably waiting for me to retort with something slick out my mouth or just, "Oh, hey, what's up?" I said, "I'm fine, sir. Thank you. How you doing?" And kept walking. One of those, I'm speaking to you as a formality. I don't really care. Mark felt that, y'all. Like, I saw Mark in the glass as I was walking up the door. Mark turned around like I don't know how Mark didn't understand how he, I do know how he thought we was cool after that conversation. Because remember, y'all, I never gave him a reaction. So Mark thought everything was copacetic. Right? Which I don't know how because I've been treating him like yesterday's trash, but whatever. But I treat him like yesterday's trash. Like I said, y'all, I wasn't interacting with Mark at all. Me and Mark usually be in each other's face. I was not interacting with Mark. I was like, "Mark, go find you a ditch, jump in, and twist your ankle, ugly." So, because he hurt my feelings. So, probably like 2 more weeks pass after that. I'd say like 2 more weeks. And y'all, my intrusive thoughts was like, "Hey, yo, Mark, for real. I probably should have verbalized how I felt sooner. I didn't want to do it in a moment because I already saw that Mark was heavy in his emotions. But I should have done it because what I thought was pushing it away was just letting it simmer until it boiled over. So that particular day, me and Mark are in the same building. I'm looking at Mark, and I think I start like cutting my eyes at him because, y'all, I am irritated in my soul at Mark by this point, y'all, because it's been like probably like 5 weeks. I'm irritated in my soul, and I think a part of me is irritated because, like, why you didn't come apologize to me, stupid? And then another part is like, how you gonna violate like that? Like, whoever hurt you, it wasn't me, Stink. So if you didn't have the guts to make them pay for it, you ain't gonna make me pay for it, right? Not the right train of thought, but I'm telling y'all where my head was at. So, so I see Mark, and like I said, we in the same building, and I feel like I'm cutting my eyes at Mark. I feel like I am. I'm going to say in good conscience, knowing myself, I'm probably looking at Mark like I could punch him in his face. That's not nice. I know. So I think Mark thinks I'm playing because I've done that before where I look at him and roll my eyes and he start talking trash to me and I talk it back. So he thinks I'm playing, which I don't know how he ain't picked up on. I'm still mad about that conversation because I ain't spoke to him since, but go off, Mark. So Mark walks up to me, baby. And he's like, it's probably like not even a foot of space in between us. Again, I think Mark thinks I'm playing. So Mark goes, "You got something you want to say to me?" Because I told y'all me and Mark talk trash to each other. And I say, "You know what?" Y'all, this is when my intrusive thoughts kick in. I said, "You know what? I do." Mark said, "Well, what's that?" I said, "I really want to dislike you." And y'all, I looked at Mark like, when I said I really want to dislike you, my arms was folded across my chest. I did like, I was like squinting my eyes between syllables. Like I could feel it in my face. I know I was giving this man attitude because it's like, I need you to know I'm not playing with you because you're stupid. And I'm mad. And so I'm like, ooh, knowing who Mark is, I said, Mark is about to never speak to me again. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. Mark takes a minute, and you could tell he's clearly taken aback by what I said. He takes like 2 steps back, and then he smiles. And he goes, because I remember, y'all, I said, "I really want to dislike you, like real bad." Mark smiles at me and says, "Impossible." Listen, y'all, at that point, I wish I had a wax strip in my hand so I could put it across Mark's face and rip off his eyebrows. Because I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Like, just telling the story, I feel the emotions coming back. I was so mad. So, Mark is like, Mark smiles and says impossible. Then he walks off. But I know he knows, like, okay, she's mad for real. And y'all, it's been 5 weeks. So you got to know, for somebody to still be mad about something you did 5 weeks ago, it's not really a game. But that's Mark, right? So now I'm livid. Because my intent, remember what I told you, when somebody's mad, subconsciously we want to transfer that energy. I want Mark to be as mad as I am. Like, bitch, I'm not playing with you. Don't ever get that comfortable going off on me for something I didn't do. So Mark kind of steps off, and I guess that's when he's like in his planning phase on how he's going to attack the situation, because whether or not Mark would like to admit it, it's pretty clear that Mark loves him some me. And as quiet as it's kept, and as much as I hate to admit it, I probably love me some Mark. And that's probably why what he said hurt my feelings so much and why I was so mad. So I'm working out the things I need to work out in that building, getting it taken care of. And me and Mark happen to be in the same room at a particular time. And what did he say to me? Oh, he didn't say anything. Mark gave me the smile of like a younger sibling who had just got the older sibling in trouble. Like a big cheese grin. And I was like, yep. Now I wish I had 2 wax strips. Because then I would take off to strip the hair on Mark. I was so mad. Anyway. So when he did that, I was like, oh, he think this is sweet? He think it's funny? Y'all, I'm getting madder. And Mark is loving it. He's a troll. So fast forward, I finish what I'm doing, and I have some medical issues, and they start to flare up. So I have to sit down and take a rest. Like I have to. So I sit down, and I take a rest. And Mark shows up. Keep in mind, we exchanged glances a few times in between then, like in the hallway and little stuff like that. And Mark did that little stupid smile that he did. Like I said, like a younger sibling trying to get their older sibling in trouble. And so, excuse me, I go to sit down to take a rest. And I'm looking at my phone, and I could see Mark's feet because he had on these bright socks. So I could see Mark's feet while I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I'm not going to look up because I'm going to cuss Mark out. Like, Mark really thinks this is a game, and I'm really about to cut up. But I'm in a public place, so I'm trying to keep it cute. So Mark comes over and goes, "What's up, girl?" and grabs a big handful of my thigh and shakes my whole body. When I tell y'all, I ain't never wanted to swing on somebody so bad. Oh, God. I wanted to hit Mark so bad. Because I was like, he's taking me for a joke! I was so mad. Mark grabs a handful of my thigh and shakes my whole body. Go, "What's up, girl? What you doing?" Yo, I take a deep breath and I tell my intrusive thoughts, fuck it, let him have it. And he goes, "What you doing, girl?" And I said, "Over here wondering why God put you in my life." Yo, I said it just like that. I said, "It's a lesson I'm supposed to learn, and I need to figure out what it is so he can let it go." I was so mad. And Mark knows that I'm a spiritual person. And I'm big on growth and introspection and all that. So for me to say that, you gotta know I mean it and I'm mad. I literally told Mark, I said, "I'm trying to figure out why God put you in my life." I'm trying to figure out why God put you in my life and what lesson he needs me to learn so I can learn it and he can let it go. And by let it go, I mean get Mark out my life. And I say it was intrusive thoughts because even though one part of me is like, let Mark have it, another part of me is like, Chelle, why'd you say that? So Mark looks down and laughs. And you know what this motherfucker says to me, y'all? I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes in the chat. What do you think Mark's response was to me saying, "I'm trying to figure out why God put you in my life"? Y'all, Mark says in one word, real confident too. He said, to teach you tolerance. I wanted to. So me and Mark was sitting on the bench. The way I wanted to flip that bench. Yeah. I did. The way his words hit me, this man said, to teach you tolerance. No, he didn't say to teach you tolerance. I said, I got to figure out what lesson God wants me to learn so he can let it go. Mark said, tolerance. Just like that. I wanted to flip that bitch so fucking bad, bro. I was so mad. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that is what God is teaching me. That's what I'm saying in my head. Because why is this person that's not my person making me so angry? And so I said, I ended up, when he said tolerance, y'all, I literally did one of those mad laughs, like one of them I'm fed up laughs. And I said, you know what? That's probably it. Because you try my nerves every chance you get. Mark said, yeah, that's what I do. He's like, that's my mission here on earth. And I'm like, he being funny. He being funny, right? But that's how me and Mark talk. Mark has said this before. Like I've said to Mark, why are you so obnoxious? And he'd be like, that's why God put us together. So that I could get on your nerves. Like Mark say stuff like that to me. So low-key, he might be right. Maybe that's my spirit guy speaking through Mark. Like, nah, for real. We trying to teach you tolerance. But I say this getting agitated. I don't feel like Mark's a bad person. I do feel like, I will be 100% honest. Like I said earlier, I feel like Mark's been hurt. And I feel like if Mark gets the healing he needs, he's probably one of those people who loves deeply. Because that's what I've learned. The people who are like the most aggressive, the most angry. I ain't talking about narcissists and stuff. They already too far gone. But like the people who are the most aggressive and the most standoffish and the most like they don't trust anybody, those are the people who typically love the deepest and probably have been hurt. But if you can get past those walls, I'll say that. And only you knows how far you will go. But if you could get past those walls, then people will probably show you a love deeper than you've ever experienced before. Like their love will be so deep and so pure, the only next step above it will be God's love. Those are the type of people I'm talking about. And I feel like Mark is like that. And I'll tell y'all in another story time because it's already been like almost 30 minutes. I'll tell y'all another story time how I can tell Mark treats the people he loves really special in his life. So anyway, I'm like, I just laugh it off. Because at this point, I've given up. I'm like, you know what, Mark? You've won the battle, at least for now. And so Mark just starts talking to me like he ain't been pissing me off for 5 weeks. And he started having regular conversations, but make no mistake about it, my intrusive thoughts come back up. Mark started talking about his emotional health and mental health. And I said, I think you should go see somebody. And Mark was like, I mean, I have been, he's like, I am, he said, I'm healing now. He's like, actually, I'm healed. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. This is when my intrusive thoughts came back up, y'all. I'm about to wrap it up because this video is long. I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not healed. And he was like, how I'm not healed? I said, because the way you came out of the bag on me the other day, I was about to two-piece you. And he started laughing. He said, oh, okay. So I think he knew, like, yes, I figured that's why you was mad at me. And he was like this, no, I'm healed. I said, no, you definitely not. He's like, oh, so you think I need to get help for real, for real? I said, yeah, no joke. Y'all, I was looking at Mark with a straight face. And he started laughing. He's like, okay. He's like, but that's fine. He said, the way I came out of bag on you, I said, you came out of bag on me. I said, I don't know who hurt you, but it wasn't me. So, and he was like, I get it. He's like, my bad. I was like, uh-huh. And so I just wanted y'all to know. So Mark left. No, me and Mark said, I got to go at the same time. We both literally was like, he's like, well, let me head. I said, well, I got to get up out. Like we said at the same time. Like basically, I got to get up out of here. And me and Mark departed. So that's the end of that story time, y'all. Feel free to let me know what a mess I am in the comments, child. I literally did not mean to make this that long, but I appreciate all of you that decided to stop and stay. Y'all be safe and stay dangerous. Thank you so much for all the love and support that y'all been showing me. If you're a newcomer, thank you for just staying just for this video. I appreciate you. I love y'all for free. Peace down the middle. Bah.